Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon Total, and today we have something big for Enlisted, and that is two new tanks. To be exact, two new heavy tanks. One for the Americans, which should come as practically no surprise, and one for the Japanese, which is actually a big surprise because, well, if you don't know, the Japanese don't have a lot of tanks. And in today's case, we're going to be getting a heavy tank for the Japanese. So without further ado, let's get started. Of course, this video has been made possible for the friends at Discord. If you haven't liked, subscribed, or joined the Discord, highly suggest that you do. With that said, let's get started. For the Americans, we have the M26 T99, and for the Japanese, we have the Ho-Ri. To be exact, the Ho-Ri prototype. This is essentially the Japanese Ho-Ri that we have in game, but it is an earlier version, and to be exact, some of the specifications are different, so that's great. Both of these are essentially becoming in as pregnant squads. Of that, I am almost 100% sure, mainly thanks to the background and mainly thanks to how Enlisted likes to implement these tanks. But of course, let's talk about the weapons and tanks themselves. The tank that we have for the United States is the M26T99. This is essentially M26, but as you can see from the picture, with essentially rockets on the side. To be exact, this has 44 114mm M8 rockets, the same M8 rockets that you find on the P-38. And this thing is, if you haven't figured out, pretty devastating because if you don't know about the M8 rockets, these can essentially take out any low-tier tank and any high-tier tank if you know where you're aiming. For example, if you know where to aim and hit the Panther, then you pretty much know how to kill an enemy. If you pretty much know how to kill infantry, which at this point it's pretty easy to kill any infantry with this tank, then it's pretty good. I have yet to find whether it can take out Tiger 1s, but I know for a fact that it can easily take out the Panthers. So that's great. On the other hand, you have the Japanese with what appears to be a Ho-Ri. To be exact, this actually appears to be the Ho-Ri prototype, I think. I could be wrong. The Ho-Ri prototype is essentially a Ho-Ri with less frontal armor, and when I mean less armor, I mean a lot less armor, and the exact same 105mm Type 5 gun. The only difference is that it's called the 105mm Experimental High Velocity Cannon, so that's great. Hence, what I think that this is a precursor to a much bigger update for both Japan and potentially the United States. As we have seen recently, which I'm going to make a video about, we have two event squads. One is essentially for the Thanksgiving sale, the Cult Monitor and the Tempest, of which they're pretty interesting if you ask me. But what I think it is going to happen is that the next coming update, it is a better update for the Japanese, which I think they really need to do, because as of right now, if you haven't realized, Japan pretty much is lacking. That said, without further ado, this is the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. And of course, tell me what you think about these tanks. Personally, I am very interested to try out the M26T99 because that thing is just insane on steroids. And if we're being honest, if this is the Ho-Ri prototype, then I personally think it's a downgrade of the Ho-Ri production that we have in game right now. Hence, the M26 is an upgrade, which as it should be, because if you haven't figured out, the M26 can now, officially, the T99 version, can officially take out Ho-Ris from the front thanks to the rockets, and some German heavy tanks thanks to, once again, the rockets. The gun is still lackluster, it is a 90mm and does require some skill to take out heavy tanks like the Tiger 2H, but overall it's pretty good. That said, what do you guys think about these tanks? I have given you my personal opinion. Comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one.